Hey Booktube, this is Kelly. Thank you so much for watching my channel, Books I'm Not Reading. I am really struggling this morning to make this video. I don't know why. Maybe it's just a hard thing to condense into 15 minutes, or I don't know what it is. I'm really struggling with it, but I'm going to give it another shot here, and then after that I'm probably going to call it a day and just give up. I wanted to talk to you today about how Booktube has changed my life. And so there's kind of like some things that are pre-COVID, life-changing things, and then during COVID, and I realize, fully recognize we're not post-COVID yet, but yeah, so, I mean, first of all, there's just the name of my channel, which, Books I'm Not Reading. And Booktube has really inspired me and encouraged me to read more and to read different things than I ever would have picked up on my own, which is such a gift. It's such a gift. And some of you have made some really great recommendations of books to me, and I have realized like I haven't been keeping track of them, and I doubt I'm going to be able to go back and find them. So I started on my Goodreads account today a shelf for recommendations. So if you've recommended a book to me in the past and you want to remind me, hey Kelly, don't forget to read this book, please let me know. But I did start a recommendation shelf so that as soon as someone makes a recommendation, I can get that added onto my Goodreads account. And it's also just really, even though I live with someone who loves books and who could talk about books and movies all day long, I used to tease Jason a lot because we'd wake up in the morning and, instead of like, oh, hello, like, how did you sleep? Good morning, whatever, those kinds of things, Jason's question would be like, do you remember that book I told you about? Or do you remember the trailer I showed you that other day? Which, I can't possibly keep track of all of that. So even though I'm really fortunate that I live with someone who loves books as much as Jason, we still really gravitate toward different things. And so it's been so great to share the books that I love with other people and to find out that other people love those books too, or sometimes not, but that's another story. Even if I write a review of something and somebody doesn't like it, like I'm always appreciative to hear like the other side of the story. It doesn't necessarily change my mind about how I feel about a book. I've been in book clubs in the past. I've led book clubs in the past, and definitely you can get the spirit of that. But this is like a continuous conversation because we're always making videos. We're always talking about books we've discovered or books that are, out of print, but we find in a used bookstore or whatever. And so it's just really, that's a great thing. Overall, like, I think when I first started my channel, I spent a lot of time worrying about numbers and analytics and things like that, which certainly understand. And I think we've talked a lot about that, that there are things that we can control and things that we just can't. And, fortunately, I finally am at the point where I'm not like waking up in the morning and, noticing that I've lost 2 subscribers overnight and wondering what the heck, like, why did that happen? So I've learned to let some of those things go, but I fully admit to, wondering like, what video should I do? What tag should I do? What am I going to talk about here? How can I create a more regular Booktube publishing schedule? Those sorts of things. And that's just an ongoing process. But it's good. And like sometimes I have so many ideas for videos, and then sometimes I just don't know. I don't know what to talk about. So I know that's not a problem for some people, but for me, yeah, every once in a while, like the well is just dry. But overall, by far and away, the greatest thing, the way Booktube has changed my life in a way that I never, ever would have dreamed, is that I feel like I have some really good friendships. And I will tell you about a long line of friendships where it's been the other person doing all the work to reach out to me, to call me, to email me, whatever the case may be, to message me. And eventually they just get tired of being the one who's always like trying to instigate the conversation. And so obviously like that friendship, dies or is really damaged, really damaged. Had a lot of people who were great friends that moved. I have moved around, and so yeah, it's just I'm personally like in the community that I live in, I don't really feel like I have any friends. There's people who have been like better friends, like we've had a stronger friendship in the past, but in COVID and people with children and things like that, like yeah, they've been preoccupied by other things, and so we just haven't really connected the way we used to. And I don't know what will happen in the future. I don't know what will happen going forward, but anyway, so in my own just personal day-to-day life, I just don't really feel like I have friendships. On Booktube, though, there are people who, for certain stretches, we've talked every day, sometimes multiple times a day. Sometimes really lengthy messages, to the point where we get to 15 minutes and get cut off by Boxer and then start, do another message. And I don't know how I would have made it through the last year without those friendships of Joe Smith, Rainey from Rainy Day Reads, Allie from Fox Folios, Karen Evans, just to name a few. And I hate to even name names because, there are so many people that I'm just delighted to hear from anytime, and people who have shared their own pain and struggles in the past year with me, and I feel blessed that they felt comfortable enough to talk to me about those sorts of things. I have more buddy reads planned this year than I've ever had in the past. I'm in basically two buddy reads at the moment. But yeah, so and that just makes the reading experience even richer, I think. Especially with books that can be really challenging, like the Mammoths, and things that are maybe experimental or just different, just something outside my wheelhouse. Reading that with someone else is just fantastic. So anyway, so I really want to thank all of you, and especially some of you who took, like in hindsight, I'm like, wow, I really pushed that friendship to the max in the last year, because I just didn't have anyone to talk to aside from my parents and Jason. So that's been it. So anyway, I don't know. This is like a mess of a video here, but I just want to say thank you to all of you for helping me get through, a really difficult year or going forward years, and for making my reading life so much more interesting and more diverse and more eclectic than it has been in the past, and helping me get through the books that I would struggle with. talking to me about your own personal life and allowing me to share with you some of the things that were going on in my personal life. So I'm so grateful, and that has just been a real game changer. For me, I think my mental health would be in a completely different state if I had gone through the last year without Booktube. I truly don't know. I don't know. I don't even really want to think about what that would have been like. So thank you guys so much. I love you all, and yeah, like we'll just keep talking. We'll just keep reading and we'll keep talking to each other, and it's fantastic. So all right, it's enough of my waffling. I'll leave it there. Booktube, remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.